Great. It's Wednesday, May 10th here at the beautiful Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. It's our Wednesday night midweek Oasis service. My name is Paul Prasuti, and I, believe it or not, am going to be your host tonight. I know some of you will be a little surprised to see me. I am here and present, not trying. I am here and present being your host tonight. I'm giving Sally the opportunity to visit with some family and take care of some business in Virginia. She's on her way home tonight. So I want to honor her and know that she's having a safe journey home. She's done a terrific job for the last 5 months. I know, goes by that quick. Just a quick update. All is well with my health. Reverend Sunshine and the team and Ministry of Prayer and Dorothy and everyone at church supported me spiritually and mentally and physically through that process. I am clean and good. Well, kind of clean. I worked in the yard this morning and still taking care of Steve at home and our dog, who is requiring a lot of attention. He is sequestered tonight because he's a barker and I don't want him to interrupt. But we bless little Tanner and hope he'll be quiet so I can get through this evening tonight without minimal muting. So welcome to our midweek Oasis, our Wednesday night service. As you will get to experience tonight, Wednesday Night Oasis is a place where we come together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sundays. Most Wednesday night services build upon the theme of the previous Sunday, sharing in a satsang style, building off of science of mind principles and practices with the intentions that these gatherings be informal, intimate, and interactive. Richly interactive. Last Sunday, Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman introduced ideas inspired by the talk title of The Inner and Outer Spectrum. And tonight, practitioner Jessie Kreiss continues the exploration of this same topic. Let me remind you of our annual theme for 2023, Living Out Loud. And tonight, for Wednesday, we are beginning our new monthly May theme of Light Within the Shadow. As we gather tonight, we welcome you. Early in her ministry with us, Reverend Sunshine Michelle invited us to come to the center well. Come well. So to do so, she shared these 6 C's for us to consider. Come with a heart of love and tenderness, compassion. Come ready to exchange openly, communication. Come in harmony and ready to share, camaraderie. Come in partnership and cooperation, collaboration. Come in spiritual awareness and truth, consciousness. As we move into the program tonight, these 6 C's are the premise of sharing a wonderful evening with you tonight. So welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you as well. If you're new to our community, please visit our homepage at www.oaklandcsl.org. Click on the I'm New icon and look at the lower left-hand corner of that page to submit your email address. Once you do that, you'll begin receiving the Village News newsletter once a week in your email. It has all the information on what is happening at the center in the coming weeks. Now, before we get started, please mute your own audio. You can leave your camera on, but do mute your audio so that there'll be no interruption as we go on with our service tonight. And if our Zoom team will mute your audio because it does improve the quality of our recording and transmission. Stay tuned through the end of the service to receive special and important announcements. Right now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our speaker. It's her first time with us on Wednesday night. and it's Jessica Kreiss. She has been a licensed practitioner for 9 years and currently serves at the Centers for Spiritual Living in Santa Cruz. She offers multiple types of sessions to bring immediate healing, movement, and transmuting of energetics. She studies and has trained with many modalities and adds her own unique flavor and style. Her topic tonight is light within the shadow, the inner and the outer spectrum. As we do with every organized event at the center, we open with prayer. Jessica, would you be doing the honors for us this evening?
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul. So let's all just take a moment, come into our bodies, relaxing into this time and space. Allowing this moment to be an opportunity to receive. So just taking a deep breath in, opening your heart to receive the beauty of this infinite now. This space of limitless possibility. This space of complete and utter purpose. The vibrancy and the allness of this incredible planet Earth. The frequencies that respond to, through, in, and as us. This incredible God source that I am, that you are, that we are. As we allow in this time to offer up anything that is weighing on our hearts, to be lifted into this prayer, to be cleansed, to be renewed, to be seen, to be witnessed. As we offer in this space right now, a space to hold, to see, to love, to tap into all that we are, to be here right now. Knowing how, out of everything there is to do, any place there is to be, out of 8 billion people on this planet, that we get to be here together and create community. So I bless this service. I bless everyone that has been involved to make this service happen tonight. I bless our hearts. I bless every step that has taken you to lead until this very moment, right here and right now. And as always, I give gratitude and acknowledgement to our ancestors, our guardians, our guides, and our loved ones. I invite them to be with us here now. In such honor, they make up so much of who we are in this infinite now. So I just welcome that. And I hold this space in such love, knowing that the light and the shadow are already dancing together in sweet intimacy and love, deep friendship, deep bonding, deep seeing. And with that, I open this space by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Jessica, for starting us. Beautiful. The floor is yours, my dear. Welcome to Oakland Center for Spiritual Living.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. As always, I'm just going to be so candid right off the bat and just say that this topic, there couldn't be a better topic for me as a person. I'll put it that way. And in turn with that, I have been in tears about it all day, but the beauty of it, the beauty of how much shadow has offered me in this lifetime, that I wouldn't be this Jessie, this embodiment of me without all of the shadow that intertwines in my life every single day. it is not something that's hidden for me. I think of Peter Pan who can't get his shadow to stick. My shadow is so stuck with me. And so it's my intention and my offering to talk about that, to go into the depths with you and with me, and to share space around the light within the shadow. So first and foremost, I want to just give acknowledgments and gratitude to Reverend Sunshine Michelle, who has been such an important part of my path. I already see that shining heart. She has been such an important part to my path. How somebody entering your life in the midst of shadow. As an offering of the extension of vulnerability, I will say that I had come out of, I didn't know it yet. I practitioned on a panel after 5 years of going through the practitioner studies, and Sunshine Michelle happened to be on the panel. I was so nervous, and I can't believe it's been 9 years. I really truly cannot, and it just warms my heart. And afterwards, not only did they give me my license, but Sunshine asked me to join her on this new adventure called Azure, which I'm sure, I hope some of you have heard of. And I said yes, and in turn, I asked her to be my mentor. However, within a week, because the universe is ready for evolution, I had a very hard situation come into my life, and I was actually physically abused. And Sunshine Michelle, I came to her, and I know she had already accepted me as her dear mentor, but I came to her and I said, hey, look, this has happened. Do you still accept me? And not only did she accept me, here we are 9 years later, and she hasn't left my side. So I just want to give that acknowledgement tonight and my appreciation to you, Sunshine. And I have always envisioned her on a pulpit. So it's so exciting to see her. I could not think of a better person to be leading OCSL, and you're just in such loving hands. So I want to start off by just letting you know that you're so incredibly important. Every breath you have ever taken, you've been loved. And that's a line that came through me a couple weeks ago. And I've just been sitting with it so much. Every single breath you've taken since you were born, you have been loved. You are an important part of this infinite ripple. This ripple being, you never know what anybody is going through. Your smile has the ability to save someone's life. Your smile has the ability to change someone's entire day. Your smile alone has that potentiality. And I see Kate on here, so I have to go with this story. I was hoping she would arrive so I could share this story, but Kate Frias saved my life. Quite literally saved my life. Kate Frias is my first mentor. She is my first mentor when I was 19 and I found CSL. And by the time I was 21, I was living in a room where one of my dearest friends had taken her own life. And and I had been sober, I was just loving my spirituality, all these things, but this process threw not only me, but this entire friend group into a very dark and hard time in our lives. It was so incredibly challenging for me at that point in my life, but Kate Frias stuck by my side, and she saved my life. I had gotten to a place where I did not want to be on this earth anymore. I just had reached a place of, I have no purpose. I have no reason to be here. And I think this is why I was so emotional today, is because thinking of these stories and knowing that hopefully Kate would arrive and I could express my gratitude to a community of what she did. It's not small. I think of all of the people I've gotten to love since that day. I think of everything I've gotten to accomplish since that day that she saved me. And I had gotten to this low point, and she just happened to call me at the right time, driving by my house. And I honest to God, thought it was my mom, who I had gotten in a fight with earlier that day. And she had threatened that the police would be coming to see me. So I answered very abruptly and loudly. And yeah, I was sitting in the driver's seat of my car, ready to no longer be here anymore. And Cape Frias happened to be driving by my exit at that exact moment. Right when she heard the frenzy in my voice, she pulled off the highway. I heard her actually say to her partner, Kate, pull off the effing highway right now. And they were at my door in a matter of, or at my car door in a matter of minutes. And that evening, she took me into a room with practitioners, and they prayed over my body and fed me. And I moved out of that apartment and helped me start rebuilding my life and continue on my practitioner studies. When I bring this story up, one, just sincere gratitude, right? Like these angels that enter our lives. If she had not been going around that highway at that exact time and thought to call me and me answer that phone call, I would literally not be here right now. And that is huge. It is impactful. And it just melts my heart. So thank you so much, Kate. And since then, my beloved sunshine has helped me work through many of these dark nights. So I am so sincerely grateful for their commitment and their love and the importance of community and mentorship. So I am a big mental health advocate. It is my purpose. It is my path. Mental health, mental illness, all of it. Because of my history, I was actually suicidal by the time I was in 5th grade. Sometimes I think, how does a 5th grader even know how to do that when I look back? But, I've done so much in-depth healing around this space. And now I have an entire program built for people who are in that same position. So it's called The Beacon, and it's just a wonderful journey and full circle. However, something that I found interesting over the last week is that currently, right now, I want to speak a little bit about loneliness. I'm not sure if any of you saw the studies over the last week, but loneliness is actually causing more deaths now than people who smoke cigarettes. And when I heard about this, it was kind of interesting. It's as deadly as smoking up to 15 cigarettes, it said, and it's associated with a greater risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, premature death. Crazy if you sit with that for a moment. And guess what? We just came out of literally social isolation within COVID, right? So we think about, we were literally kind of put in this situation where loneliness was all around us, right? And we were forced into this situation of finding different ways to feel connection, but we couldn't even leave the house. And it's almost like we put ourselves in this routine of thinking that we have to do everything alone. How could we not? Right? How could we not have programmed ourselves in some way, shape, or capacity that we were in now this situation to be doing things alone, right? And in some ways, I believe we moved further away from community because we've been in this mentality. It's like, I can do it by myself. We don't even know how to ask for help. Most of us, right? Like to be able to just say, hey, I need you today. I'm feeling this right now, let alone know how to do that for ourselves, right? So this space within the shadow is why we come to nurture it. When we look at the other side of this, what cures loneliness, right? Well, what's its opposite? Because this is just who I am. I always, as Sunshine says, I love to flip it. She loves to flip it. It's probably why we get along so dang well. However, it's connection, right? So there are these moments of connection where it's coming back. And I think about all of those nights I was sitting in darkness as if it wasn't my friend, as if it wasn't an integral step to my evolution and my healing. I was looking at my darkness as if it was my enemy, as if it was something to fear, when it was actually the stepping stone to the light. It was the stepping stone, the healing opportunity to be able to feel into the moment and know I was that, so I could be this. And without all of that, I would not be this woman right here and right now. That's honoring the entire path. And one of the most beautiful things about life is we always have choice. In this very breath, in this very moment, we have choice. We have choice to breathe into love. We have choice to feel into the spaces within our body and hold ourselves exactly where we're at. We have choice to resist that. We have choice to be in angst, to be in fear, right? It's all this space of choice, but choice, how beautiful is it that we even have it? What a blessing to be able to have choice and know that in every moment we are free in our own choice. This moment, I choose this. That's why I appreciate the Buddhist teaching so much, because we just honor the feeling as it comes through. I saw us all earlier showing our little Buddha statues. We just get to honor the feeling as it comes through, right? So as we're breaking this conditioning that says we must do everything alone, we come back to this space, to this cure, to the medicine and not the poison, which is connection. I always tap into this energy, right? Of, am I feeding myself medicine right now? Or am I feeding myself poison? What am I feeding my body in this very breath and very moment? I recently was asked to join this group, this powerful, just wonderful group of people. It was such an honor. And we had to choose a law. And if you study the laws, one of it, for example, is the law of attraction. Well, the one that was going to challenge me most was the law of non-resistance. And this is a law that we were asked to embody in our day-to-day life. And as I've been embodying this law, as I've been looking at it, the law of non-resistance, wow, I really chose one that was going to stretch me. I recognized that as I leaned into every space that I resisted, I didn't even realize how much I was resisting until I tapped into resistance on this level. And every time I felt into resistance, I got to lean into it with love. And I've been watching just opportunities present themselves left and right. I've been like wonderful things have been occurring since I've been leaning into the opening in my surrounding and everything that's around me. Right. And so, wow. And I look up and see this picture right now. So I'm just going to honor one of my dear friends. She is still in recovery from getting hit by a train right now. And she's been on my spirit. She's on my spirit every day, but she has shown me a gift inside of myself and being able to be a caretaker for her over the last 6 months. She has shown me such a passion that I have with those that are disabled. And now I'm working with multiple clients. Through her accident, I've been opened into a new space of love and giving more than I've ever known within myself and teaching. And I honor that with everything in me. And that light that entered, that love that entered. This is someone who used to do everything on her own. She's an amazing musician. And now she gets to be fully taken care of right now. And so I find this beautiful full circle, like you chose to keep living. And right now you are just getting washed over in all of the love and all of the light. And that just brings so much to my heart. She's a very important person in my life. And actually she got her practitioner's license with me as well. So I owe I write a lot of poetry, but I owe my evolution to my shadow, and I honor its expression through the light. And I love thinking about it that way. My evolution, my healing, the journey, the depth, all the ways I hold myself, right? I honor it and expressing it in the light when I heal it, when I transform it, when I'm able to transmute it and offer it to others. And within our shadow holds our womb. This is the birthing place. This is how we literally are born into the world, the soil in the roots, right? That's how the seed comes through and becomes a beautiful flower. Our creativity, the space where we create our best art, our music, right? All of this lives within our shadow space and can be used as medicine to cultivate this deep space of healing. So I always honor through shadow when I'm asking myself in this space of contrast that teaches me so much. Without hate, how do I know love? Right? Like, how could I appreciate it in that depth? Without a very terrible partnership, how do I really honor a super good one? Right? It's by having that bad one that I super honor my amazing partner right now, right? Like, it's that full spectrum, right? That space of not wanting to be here anymore. Now I honor breath. Breath is my best tool to come back into the present moment. It is my guiding source to remind me that I don't say, you have this purpose, Jessie. What I remind myself is I am on purpose. So I offer that to each of you, that we are here on purpose, that we don't have to fix or change it. We just need to hold it, mother to child, in the way that you care for maybe your partner. We care for ourselves in that same capacity. I was broken up with a few months ago, and I'm going to offer us just one exercise to do before we open this into discussion. I'm going to have us all do it together. And I've been doing this ever since. There's so many things I wish I had time to share on this topic. As I said, shadow is my space. However, what I'll say is, when's the last time you just gave yourself a hug? We're going to start there. I don't know when it was, but I'm just going to ask that you give yourself a hug right now. All right. And my next request, I'm going to mute myself too. We're all going to do this together. By the way, your body doesn't know the difference of you hugging yourself or it coming from someone else. So the purpose within this is that you are giving yourself love in this moment, and the hug and the vibrancy of a hug has the ability to heal energetics in your body right here and right now. So in this very moment, I'm just going to ask that you tell yourself everything that you need to hear right now, and say it out loud to yourself. And I just offer you this teaching of holding to begin to offer that space of, what is it that I need to hear right now? What is it that I need to know? Often, Sunshine knows this. I have an emotion. And when, let's say, sadness comes up, I identify the exact emotion that it is. And I pinpoint it and I say, okay, this is sadness. Let's say it's grief. Let's say whatever it is. And I just say hi to it. I ask it what it needs from me right now. That brings me back to connection with myself, right? In this space of loneliness and isolation, this isn't about how do we feed more into that. This is back to choice. How do we come back to this space of connection? How do we come back to ourselves, back home to ourselves, where everything we need already exists within us right here and right now? That's how powerful each of you are, how important you are. Just like Kate saved my life, you have the ability to save someone's life. You are changing the world just by being here. You are on purpose. So I just thank you for having me here today to talk about the light within the shadow. Like I said, I had a lot more notes, so I'm just going to trust and open this space for some discussion. And Sunshine, I see your amazing notes. She's an amazing note taker. So thank you so much. And just open this time
Jessica,
to share anything. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
thank you, Jessica, so much. Awesome, 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 awesome. So folks, what we like to do for the next 19 minutes or so is share any thoughts, or if you have any questions for Jessica, or did something resonate with you, if you could all turn on your cameras right now, and if you'd like to pose a question or make a comment, we ask that you raise your hand like this, or use your reaction button at the bottom to raise your hand. Most of us, like I just did there, and I'll go first. Since I raised my hand, I wanted to share something I found profound in what Jessica said tonight. So I'm gonna break the ice with you, Jessica, if I may.
Please
Can
do.
you talk more about, because this is what really stuck out, was when you had us hug each other, hug ourselves. See, that's a Freudian slip, because that basically we're hugging each other in the moment, right? You said the body doesn't know that you're hugging yourself, that it thinks it, or may think that it is being hugged by someone else. Could you expound upon that, that whole idea of the body recognizing a hug, whether it comes from you or someone else?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's why I always ask my clients, I'm like, when's the last time you've hugged yourself? Because I hug myself every day. So it doesn't know the difference, right? When you close your eyes, when you drop the serotonin you're releasing into your body, the connection that you're releasing into your body, it's the same way that basically you don't know the difference. There was this huge study, I'm not sure if you all saw it, when you're standing on the edge of a cliff. The person who's standing on the edge of the cliff, all of the same receptors in the body light up. They did it to someone in a meditation where they listed all the same, explained the scenario in the fullness and the full capacity, and the exact same places within the brain lit up. The exact same places within the body lit up. In that same capacity, when we hug ourselves, it knows no difference. When you drop it in the heart space, you are lighting up, giving yourself the love, the serotonin, and the release that your body so one deserves, right? Touch is so important for ourselves in that way. I hope that answers your question, but I love that study. I think it's fascinating. I'm pretty fascinated with the brain.
I had no idea that that's how it worked. I'm glad you explained it to me. I will be quietly and privately hugging myself a little bit more often. So thank you. Anyone else have a question or a statement, or would like to discuss a point further?
I will. I'm Sherry.
Hi, Sherry, go ahead.
Thank you, Jessica. I loved everything that you had to say, and I'm so glad that person was there synchronously. Oh my goodness, in synchronicity to save your life at that moment. Precious, precious. Yeah, I've had many of those kinds of things. Not quite like you're talking about, but I've had 9 anaphylactic shock experiences in my life, which I understand is some kind of record. And one of them involved an out-of-body experience, excuse me, near-death experience. And I remember chunking back down into my body. and going, oh no, I'm back. And those kinds of things, that moment afterwards and my life afterwards took an entirely different direction, that I wasn't on, a path I wasn't on before that. So I just, the idea of synchronicity, excuse me, this is allergies tonight. The idea of synchronicity is the intersection of the darkness and the light happens all the time. And so I just lost my point because I was going to another one. I'm going to come back. Oh yeah, I'm finishing up a 6-month group of a number of people who have coached together. I'm a coach, and the title was of what we've done together is called Creativity, Artistry, and the Soul's Work. And last night we decided for this coming month, it's just wonderful, talk about synchronicity, to write, to journal every single day on the intersection of the light and the darkness, and to share that when we meet again next month, which will be our last meeting time. So it's like, here it is, you know, it's all the same, the voice comes through at the right time, or I'll hear someone, oh yes, Reverend Sunshine Michelle talked about the Wizard of Oz and Toto, the dog, on Sunday. And the next day I picked up my mystery book and opened it up, and the next page talked about the Wizard of Oz and Toto, the dog. And I said, you gotta be kidding. You know? I mean, it's just so much fun when those things happen, and they just keep coming, you know, once it's just like, let it flow. And I'll end by saying that the brightest times of my life followed the darkest periods. And it was as if I had to experience everything that went on in those dark times in order to reach, like you were saying, the next part, the next place of life. And so, yeah, I'm just ending by there and let someone else talk. Thank you so much for coming tonight and sharing your heart, your spirit, and your wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I deeply honor your path, and I'm so grateful you're here. That's so
Thank
amazing.
you.
That's
Thank
such a
you.
powerful story. It aligns with me so deeply. And, you know, I always joke, how can I make the darkness and light intimate lovers, right? Like,
Exactly.
they're going to be dancing every day. And so, you know, like I said, that's why I just love to allow it to flow through. And I just appreciate your share. It just really, really taps into the full spectrum that I know we're all dealing with every day, right?
Every day, every minute.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Someone else?
Ella, go ahead.
Marcella, yeah.
Unmute yourself.
Hi, this is my first time. I just was looking at the Center for Spiritual Living, and I saw, oh, there is something on Wednesday. So I just entered. So such a beautiful gift. I want to say thank you so much for your testimony. It's really beautiful to hear that. It's perfect for what I have. I need to listen today. And I'm sorry, my eyes are not doing well today. And I'm struggling with loneliness, but at the same time, I feel like I have a very big community, but everyone has been moving out of the Bay Area, so it's kind of a challenge. So it's a good reminder to hug ourselves, but also I recognize I need the presence of others. And so thank you for that affirmation, no? How we cannot heal ourselves alone. We heal in community. So, and I believe in that, and I believe in the power of prayers, no? And how we need, because I was very sick, close to die like 3 times. And a lot of people pray for me, and I can feel it. I can feel that call. I'm here, maybe for the purpose. I'm still here, and I'm trying to find that. I'm in remission of a cancer now for 2 years, and learning how to come back to the world. So it's beautiful to hear your testimony that have so much life and love and brightness. So thank you so much for that. I'm so happy to be here now. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. You're a beautiful spirit, and I'm so thankful out of all the communities you have stumbled across this one that is so incredibly divine, right? That this for me is God's work. And so I'm so honored that you have found this community. And I'm happy you're here.
Yes, welcome, Ella. We're glad you're here. I'm glad you found the website and to get in. And our next person that wants to speak is, and I'll introduce you to her, our senior minister, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman. Meet Ella.
Yes, actually, Ella, is it Marcella or Ella?
Marcela.
Marcella. The reason I raised my hand, even though I will address Jessica as well, was to welcome you personally to our community. And I believe in these divine synchronicities as well. And I don't know if you arrived into the service, but I want to repeat, I took a lot of notes in the chat, but I did hear you say that you're having challenge with your eyes today. So I looked back to find this part of what Jessica said, and she addressed it. I believe in the divine synchronicity of life. She said the opposite of loneliness, which you spoke of, is connection. And when we pray, we are led and guided. And you are led and guided here. And so I bless you. Our community blesses you. And we welcome you. And we are talking about light and the shadows this month. And I want you to know that you can watch us online, or you can come visit us if you're local in Oakland. And I'm just welcoming you personally at this time when you're experiencing what you're experiencing. So thank you for being here, and we bless you. And dear Jessica, I mean, that was so rich. You know, I know you so well, and I knew you would bring it home, whatever it was. And thank you for your vulnerability and for sharing your story and for putting the vibration out there of healing and of love, because sometimes we're not as forthright about that publicly. And especially in religious science, someone was saying that earlier to me today, that years ago they realized that the word is bypassed. You know, we wouldn't mention the darkness. And it's like, shame on you for talking about darkness. You metaphysician, you know better. We're all about the light and the wholeness. We are, and you know, it's darkness is a part of our human experience, and it's a good thing. And so this person that was saying it from a place of, she's delighted to know that we in Centers for Spiritual Living are talking about this. We're talking about the light and the shadow and the dark. It's a healing space, as you know. And so I just want to honor you and thank you for being here. I am complete.
Thank you, Sunshine. It's an honor. I'll say yes to everything you ask.
Great. Judith, go ahead.
Hi. Hi. Yeah, beautiful talk, Jessica. And Ella, I think you and I know each other from a long time ago. We've been in circle together, and maybe we can talk offline. I recognize you and your name. So what really touched me, Jessica, one of the things is when you said that person called you at exactly the right time and was in exactly the right place. And it's just, another testimony that Spirit is watching out for us, that Spirit is, or who, that we're taken care of. And that there's that, that grace and that kindness that comes in at the most unexpected moments, and that it's there for us, but we can also be its instruments. And when someone else is in need. And I'd just like to share a brief story of that happening with me, where a friend called me up who's quite psychic. And and this was about my ex-husband who she knew. And she said, you've got to call him, and you've got to call him right now. He's considering suicide. And we were in the Bay Area, and he was in the Sacramento area. And so I got on the phone and I called him, and he was. And he told me what had happened and why. And, it was he was in financial crisis. And I just said, I'll back you up. And, and he got through it. But it was just that, all the pieces of that friend who got the message and passed it to me, and then I called him, and I know that kind of support from Spirit is there all the time. It's just there all the time. And it gives me a lot of comfort to remember that. And when I am in the dark place or the shadow, or I'm down, I don't always remember it. I don't always remember, and I don't always remember to ask for help, but the help is still there. And it just shows up sometimes. So I loved your story. Thank you.
I love your story. I really appreciate the vulnerable shares. And, it reminds me, like Sunshine said, when we remove bypassing, it's like we're learning how to feel in our fullness, right? Like when we remove that, it's like the full spectrum is so beautiful. So thank you for that amazing story. Thank you for saving a life, just like my sweet Kate did. And now I get to pass on to others, and we get to formulate this ripple that's so much more powerful, right? So much love has gotten to be experienced because of what you've done, what Kate's done, and what gets to ripple through all of us now in the world.
We have a couple more minutes, literally. So if anybody wants to add or say something, or now's the time. I see Constance, your hand is up.
Well, I've been sitting here wondering whether I wanted, because there's so much of what you said that, as you talked about, that brought up feelings and thoughts and memories for me about about the journey that I've been on throughout my life. One of the things that I think sometimes we have this idea that, or at least I've had this idea, and if I've had it, I'm probably not alone, that somehow we can't do good works unless we've actually done our work. And I know that for myself, last month we talked about authenticity, and authenticity to me is a journey. It's not a destination. Because there were many times when I was younger when there was so much about myself I didn't know. And yet life, I was put in places where it gave me the opportunity to learn about myself. So for example, I was on the path to become a PhD in sociology, and I was really looking forward to that. I wanted to teach because I love teaching, and I wanted to be an academic. And then my son was born, and it just went south. I wasn't able to parent him in the way I thought I should, and so I really was down on myself. And as a result, I ended up leaving the PhD program and basically running away. And I ran from the East Coast to the West Coast. At the time, I was in Canada. And I ended up working a battered women's shelter, which in Canada are called transition housing. And what happened was that even though there was so much I didn't know about myself, I was able to connect with the humanity, the spirit of the women that I worked with, most of them. And so there was mutual healing that went on. And I learned a lot about myself, and I started to learn about relationships I'd been in, which I had never identified as abusive. And so, you know, I mean, that's just one example, but those kind of things have happened throughout my life, so that the journey hasn't been like, okay, well, do this, and then you're ready to go. I mean, that's a journey. This is a journey I'll be on until well, probably until after I transition, probably forever. But I just think that that we are such incredibly powerful and complex beings that we can do so much more than what we give ourselves credit for, and that we have all these ideas. At least I certainly have had all these ideas about things that I wouldn't recognize. I wouldn't really recognize how much good I had done in the world, because I didn't think I was good enough to have done them. So, and that's just one part of this. So that's been sort of my shadow throughout my life, is that part of me. And yet that shadow, like you say, you know, those hard times have taken me places that I thought I would never go, and ended up with experiences and with being able to do things that I never thought I'd be able to do. And so thank you for that, because I think that to me, the shadow is more of an internal thing. And yet sometimes, as we know, our internal is reflected in the outside, so that those experiences, which seem so horrible, are actually ones that we're creating so that we can learn about that shadow and move forward. So thank you so much for what you talked about today. It's beautiful. Thank you
For sharing. That was such a beautiful story and so much truth within that. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I think we're at about time, if I'm not mistaken, but I have to call out, send love to Kate Frias. Y'all can see her face now. She might not know what she's doing on the tech phone, but just sending love to this woman right now. Thank you.
Jessie, send love back to you and say, you are the light.
Oh, thank you, Kate. I love you.
What a perfect way to segue into our next part of the program, but that can't happen unless we jump on what Kate just said and say thank you. So let's collectively thank Jessica for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Jessie.
Touched us in so many ways. So I appreciate it. And we're all glad that you joined us, and we look forward by invitation of Reverend Sunshine for you to return. I hope you're interested.
Thank you.
All in favor? There we go. Creating a revolt right around you right now, Reverend Sunshine. The people have spoken. So in that little moment of lightness and joy, we're going to give you some announcements of things that are coming. So Peter, when you're ready, shall we begin? So May is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, a celebration of Asians and Pacific Islanders in the United States. Let's celebrate. Next Sunday, May 14th, Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman continues the theme for this month of May, which is Light Within the Shadow, by speaking on unlearning the fear of darkness. Meditation is at 10 and service is at 10:30. Next Wednesday, May 17th, and she's here with us tonight. Good to see you. Practitioner Judith Roberts will be joining us to follow up from Sunday and continue the discussion on unlearning the fear of darkness. Meditation is 6:30 and the service will start at 7 o'clock, and we will be completely in Zoom. The education calendar for spring is now available, and there's some of the things that are coming up. Remember to sign up for 5 gifts of an abundant life before May 19th, and you get the early registration price of $199. Everyone who has taken this class with Reverend Jerry has raved about it. It's a 7-week certified class, and if that doesn't fit your schedule right now, take advantage of one of the 2 study groups being offered. Exploring Aramaic Teachings of Jesus with Reverend Sally Bartholomew on Mondays and Fridays from 3 to 5 on Zoom. A love offering is appreciated, and you can sign up on the classes and workshop page to get the Zoom link. Living the Science of Mind, Bodies. See, Paul is still messing up on the announcements. Living the Science of Mind book study with Reverend Ikea Param and Tom Rose is starting on May 20th. This is brand new. This is going to be lots of fun. So dive deep into the writings of Ernest Holmes on 6 Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Zoom. A love offering is appreciated. More information and registration links are on the upcoming classes and workshop page of the website and in the Village News. Make sure to get your copy of the Science of Mind magazine for May. Not only did Reverend Sunshine write the weekly talk topics that many Centers for Spiritual Living use, she has an article, Light Within the Shadows, in the magazine. Get your issue at the bookstore before they sell out. Speaking of our bookstore, it always has fabulous sales. For May, the books for the study groups and classes, as well as the book of the month, are 30% off. And that isn't all. All children's books and jewelry are also 30% off. And as always, for information on all that is going on at your Oakland Center, visit our website and sign up for our weekly newsletter, the Thursday Village News. And remember, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates and contents you'll only find by liking and subscribing to OCSL. Please like us and subscribe to OCSL today. That's all of the announcements for now. So let's move into our joyous giving time. So just take a moment and recognize the gifts that we receive from the center. And therefore, I want to contribute my gift to continue those gifts to be received by others. So hold whatever that gift is in time, treasure, or talent close to your heart and recite and read along with me our affirmation for giving tonight. The gift I give is God in action. It does good work
in the world and
and blesses creation. So we release our gift knowing it's doing great work for everyone here at the center. And I want to let you know about the ways that you can donate. On the homepage of the website, you can click on that donate button up there in the right-hand corner. And when you do that, it'll lead to this page where you can click on the donate button to use your credit card. Our address is there for if you'd like to use the mail service. You can also do Zelle, or you can text to that number listed as well. Those are 4 ways to give. And if you're in person, our 5th way is by putting in the basket on Sunday, rising up from our seats and going up to the pulpit and placing our donation physically in the basket. So those are our options of ways that you can participate in the donation process. So in this moment of gratitude, I want to thank some folks. First of all, Jessica Kreiss, Santa Cruz girl. Thank you so much for picking up and taking off with what Reverend Sunshine established for us on Sunday. Beautiful job. Thank you. And also for the meditation at the beginning. Now, none of this happens easily or without effort, without a village. It takes a village for Paul to look good and sound good on Wednesday night. So I am just worshiping the keyboards that they're working on right now. Peter and Alice for doing the Zoom work behind the scenes, keeping it all together and being patient with me and guiding me through. So thank you guys. I also want to thank Constance Chapman. Constance and I work together as she does with Sally and as she will with Maureen to put all the pieces together so you know what's going on at the center. Thank you, Constance, so much for your love and devotion for Wednesday nights. I would be remiss if I did not mention the ministerial presence and magnitude we have here tonight. First, our own senior, oh, I'm getting verklempt. It's been a while. Reverend Sunshine, thank you for joining us on Wednesday night. You have such a huge schedule. I know what you do. I watch you and I get dizzy and I get tired watching you. You do so much. Brilliant services on Sunday, and then you do circles and classes, and then you write magazines and wow, everything that you do. And we all are so appreciative that you've decided and are leading our community. So thank you with a gracious heart. I thank you so much. And the reason I am coming back, and I am going to digress, excuse me, was because of that invitation you made. The reason I want to participate and have this space is answering that calling of the 6 C's. That's what got me. And I mentioned it at the beginning of the program today. So come well to our center, because there's much in this well at the center for you to drink from that will nourish you and feed you and uplift you. And one of them is Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman. So thank you. Thank you so much, darling. Reverend Deb, you are our long distance winner, unless anybody wants to challenge her tonight, all the way from Savannah, Georgia. So Reverend Deb, I think someone said it was your birthday too, if I recall earlier in the social time. So I am now gossiping and wishing you a very, very happy birthday from your friends and family at Oakland Center. Thank you for joining us. And congratulations, you stole the award away from Peter, who's in Portland, who gets it regularly. So thank you.
Yes.
Oh, so all of you, thank you for welcoming me back. I'll see you in a couple weeks, and I look forward to visiting with my church family. Blessed be all of you. And in this moment, we end all of our events here in prayer as we start them. So Jessica, if you will, wave your magic opening spirit around and grace us with our closing prayer, if you will.
Absolutely. All I ask is that we all open ourselves to receive. So in this moment, opening yourself to receive the blessings of everything that has been uncovered and brought to the table for healing, for love, for seeing, for knowing. I express my gratitude for this service, for every heart that expressed through word, through vibration, through energy. Every person that showed up. As I said earlier, it is not by accident. 8 billion people in the world, and we have gathered here today. Even in the midst of just finding a link to be here now, to be fed the medicine, the connection, and the love. So I bless every person here today, that they may walk through life knowing the purpose that they hold within the ripple of magic, that loving one person extends on, and extends on. It doesn't ever end. So as we tap into this love frequency, as I'm calling it tonight, a love echo, because I want it to continue to reverberate back and reverberate back. I'm calling upon love. I'm calling upon that space of light, love, and healing to wash over every individual here tonight so that they may know how incredibly blessed they are as we pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, and the miracles that surround us every single day, knowing that God, that spirit, that source is always giving to us. We are in an abundant, limitless universe. So I tap into that space of limitless divine energy that washes over every single person here. As we open our eyes to see, as we open our hearts to feel, as we make choice to feel into that frequency, into that vibration of love. Don't be surprised how quickly spirit moves for you. Don't be surprised at how quickly the universe says, yes, beloved, yes. Everything you desire is already yours. All that is asked is releasing back into that space of trust that says, I believe. I believe in miracles. I believe in God. I believe in the truth of me as this spirit flows through my body. I believe each individual here is an expression of love, loved in every single breath they take. So I bless them, I hold them, I nourish them, and the rest of their night is fed in all ways possible. That more hugs are given to the self, more connection, because it surrounds us everywhere. So with gratitude, with respect, with reverence, with love, I release tonight this prayer into that space of non-resistance, into that space of echoing love, the boomerang of love, to throw it out and come back. That just by thinking of somebody you love right now does something. It makes a difference. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is. Amen.
Yep, it sure is.